Hey there, how are you? Welcome. Thanks for joining me. I have a mitten cutout. I want to do decoupage tonight. So I can't do it on the entire mitten because there are score lines on here and part of this that we need to paint. So I want to do it on the top part of it. So I went ahead and I pre-painted the top part just with white, just one single coat. Because my napkin is a little bit see-through and I don't want to show through the wood color behind it. Completely up to you though. I did go ahead and already separate my napkin into just a single ply. Okay, this one was only 2 ply, so that was pretty simple. But you want to make sure that you do that whenever you do decoupage. And I have my Mod Podge ready to go. I have my heat press, my little mini heat press ready and heating up right now. So let me see if I can find my video. Keyword is ready to go. It is the word mitten. And we're all set. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to start with the decoupage because that's my favorite part. So that is the top part of the mitten, okay? Hey, Stephanie, how are you? Hey, Susan, welcome, girls. All right, so first things we're going to do is we're going to take some Mod Podge, and I just have this little squirt bottle I got from Dollar Tree. I'm just going to generously put some Mod Podge on here, okay? You want to have a nice, thick-ish, an even coat along the entire piece, okay? So you can pretty much do this on any kind of wood surface, or even probably even like canvas or whatever, okay? I love doing decoupage. It's one of my favorites. That and etching, and I have not done enough etching projects lately. I need to probably pick one to do soon. Maybe we can do something like that next week. So, any fun plans for Labor Day? We are not doing a darn thing, y'all. Just hanging out at the house. It's been raining here. The weather has just been absolutely horrendous. And so, Chris suggested that maybe we might want to go to our friend Josh's tonight. I'm sorry. I'm not feeling it. So I said no. Is that terrible? I just don't want to. I didn't want to get dressed. I didn't want to like leave plus going out late and then coming home late. I don't want to drink, you know. I'm just not feeling it tonight. So we're staying home. Alright, I want to dry this entirely, by the way. So we're going to do dry decoupage tonight. Now, I know a lot of people do this wet, which is fine, okay, if that's what you want to do. But my problem with wet decoupage is that the napkin gets all wrinkly, and I don't like that look at all, okay? I want it to be nice and smooth and soft looking. I don't want it to look wrinkled or anything like that at all. I want it to be perfect. This is the napkin that I'm going to use. I actually got it when some of my girlfriends and I did a napkin exchange a couple of years ago. Like, we lived in Tennessee still. We all gave each other's addresses, and everybody sent a pack of the napkins. So like I got a bunch of individual napkins of different prints. So I just cut that little piece off of that napkin because I want to use it again. So I don't want to waste it. And I only have the one. It was a really fun thing to do. So, if you guys would all be interested in doing a napkin exchange, maybe we can organize something like that. If you want to do that, comment napkin and maybe we can set something up where everybody mails their napkins to however many people, and then you get that many in return too, okay? All right, so that is completely dry, okay? It's not sticky or anything like that. Now I'm going to take my napkin and I'm going to set it on here. And I'm not going to pre-iron it or anything, okay? I'm just going to set it right on. And then I'm going to take my heat press. Hopefully it's not, my cord isn't tangled up. And I'm going to just iron that right on. Okay. Now remember, there are holes right here for the hanger to go in, which we'll deal with that in just a minute. Oops. Now, this is technically a door hanger, but I probably would not use this as a door hanger because there's a napkin on it. And I don't want the potential of like any wetness or humidity getting to it. So for me, this would be an indoor only thing. Now, I'm sure you could seal it. I'm a little afraid to do that. So I don't want to go there. Okay. Hey, Barbara, how are you? Welcome. Okay, so now my napkin is completely secured to the entire board, okay? And I'm going to just take my nail file, and you can use a nail file, you can use a piece of sandpaper, you can use a sanding block, whatever you have. And I'm going to move it in downward motions, okay? All the way around. And just tear that napkin, but it'll tear it like right at that edge. Just like that, okay? So anyway, in the comments, I would love to know, what are you doing this weekend? Are y'all barbecuing, hanging out at the pool, going out of town on a trip, or something else? Normally, so because my birthday is at the end of August, I usually like to do some kind of birthday trip over Labor Day weekend and capitalize on that time off. Yeah, I have tons too. All different, like any different type that you could want. Okay, so there's my... So yeah, normally that's what I would be doing, but I have multiple trips coming up and I feel guilty because I'm taking time off work. So we're not doing anything for Labor Day. Plus Chris is out of vacation. So now you can see through the holes, okay, through the napkin where the holes are, especially if you hold it up to the light. So I'm going to just poke that through, okay, with my detail tool. Now, the other thing that you could do, these holes are so tiny, I'm not going to worry about it. But what I would normally do is I would take a lighter and I would light the edge right there, and I would it would burn it so that it would burn it away. But you can't even see the napkin. It's like so minuscule in there. It's just the tiniest little pieces. So I'm not going to worry about it. But there's my decoupage portion. So that goes up here at the top of my mitten. I think it's super cute. I have all of my snowman pieces down here, so I want to go ahead and give those a quick paint really fast, especially the white pieces. So if I need to do a second coat, then we can easily do that. I already have my paintbrush here that I used for that other piece. So I'm going to just quickly give these a paint. Now I put paint on here, but I did try to tap it off so that it's not too heavy. These little snowflakes don't need a ton of paint, and these cutouts that are real intricate like this have a tendency to get a bunch of paint stuck in all the little cracks and crevices, and it looks junky. Okay, it looks messy, and I don't like it. Okay, although my painting is generally kind of messy anyways. I want to try and minimize that as much as I can. Okay, so if you have to do multiple coats, that's fine. Just do a few very thin multiple coats, okay, and make sure that it dries entirely in between coats, and you will have really good coverage of white on the cutouts that you get from me. Okay, so we'll let that just hang out here for a minute, and then I have my other pieces. So as far as the scarf on him and his hat, I wanted to do, I know red is kind of a weird, might be a kind of a weird color with the blue on this, but because he's wearing like a Santa hat type hat, I thought it would be appropriate. Okay, so hopefully it won't look stupid. If it does, I guess we could just go over it with black. Okay, if we get it put together and I hate it, we could give him a black scarf and even a black hat with a white little fuzzball. I guess it doesn't have to be a Santa hat, like a Santa colored hat, but I feel like that's appropriate. So, you know, plus a little pop of red never hurt anybody, I don't think. We'll see. All right. And of course, I'm using these Artex paint pens. I love them. And any chance I get to use them, I'm doing it. Barbecuing at home, I love that. Awesome. Oh, preschool. Oh. I'm going to go ahead and go all the way to the white here on this part. Oh, I have some white piece. This piece is supposed to be white. The rest of these are black though. So I accidentally mixed that up. Let me just paint. That's the little fluff ball that goes on the end of the scarf. So just paint that, keep it over here for a second so that if we need to do a second coat, we can. Have my orange marker for his little nose. Just get that painted. There we go. All right. And then I have the little, like, his buttons and his two eyes. So we'll just quickly color these little coal pieces with my Posca pen and call it a day. Okay. And that'll dry in no time. It'll be great. And then as far as the stocking, I mean the mitten itself, I have this Waverly paint. It's called Dusk. And I really like this color. I think it'll go well with the napkin that we're using and with the rest of this. Now, hopefully this red doesn't just completely throw this whole project off and make it look ridiculous. Because if it does, hey Joanne, then we'll have to reevaluate that and go from there. Okay? All right. I've got paint pieces all over me. I have pieces of fuzz from fabric. All kinds of messy. Okay, so I'm gonna do, oh man, you know what I just did? I painted over my snowman. So his body, you don't want to paint over it. Okay, we'll clean that up. It'll be fine. But we're going to go all the way. I totally screwed up. Now, his face, he has a cutout for, but his body, I do not have a cutout for it. For whatever reason, I don't know why I didn't notice that. I don't like it. I think whenever I give this to you guys, whenever you order it, I'll add that piece because I hate it. I don't like having to manually paint stuff on my cutouts. It makes it real difficult. Plus, and the snow piece down here. The snow isn't such a bad problem, but the snowman part, he needs to be white, of course. Okay, so there's that. Now, I definitely want to do multiple coats of this blue color. So I need to dry that and then do one more coat. I can't believe I did that, y'all. You know how I am. I just go full steam ahead. I have a separate paintbrush even here for the snowman, and I totally just, my brain starts running a million miles a minute and I don't even think. I don't know. I have problems. It's okay though. We'll fix it. It won't be a big deal. And really, I didn't even need to paint on my snowman, but I wanted to get the background behind him, so, you know, he at least has some cutouts that sit on top of him. But I'll fix that for you whenever you order those cutouts so that we don't have this issue again. Don't forget, also, I still have a sale going on my Etsy until midnight tonight. So for my birthday sale, if you want to get this at a discount at 28% off, go grab it today. Because that sale's over. And everything else on my shop is also still on sale too until tonight. Oh, it doesn't feel like Sunday because I'm off tomorrow. It's kind of weird. I love it, of course, because I don't have to work tomorrow, but it feels very strange. Not have to get up early. I love it. Don't get me wrong. Okay, one more coat of this dust color. Now, it is kind of it reminds me of that dusky blue. Do y'all remember that Chalk had? Love that color. It was like I think it might have been an On Vogue color that we had briefly, but it's like that same exact shade. And I love that color so much. Now, getting around these pieces, I'm going to be careful so that I don't have to do any more cleanup than I absolutely must. I'm wondering if I need to just go ahead and paint that part so that it's even. So it's evenly messed up underneath the white. I'm going to have to do multiple coats of white to fix it. Darn it. Okay. Roughly getting around there so that I can clean it up with white here in a second. And then, you know, one of these days, whenever I get it all the way together, I'm going to be unstoppable. But until then, I am a nightmare. Okay? And that's okay. I guess. So make sure that you comment the words mitten to grab the link to get this. And the link to my Etsy is on there too. My Amazon list is there also. How to shop on the Chalk website is there too. How to sign up as a Perks member if you want to do that and save 30% on all of your purchases from Chalk. All of that information is in that message. If you've never messaged with me, you will have to check your message requests. But it'll be in your inbox, in your Facebook Messenger. I'm going to go ahead and hit this one up really quick with, I don't think I need to do another layer on my snowflakes themselves, but I'm going to go ahead and do his face and this piece for his little fuzzball. I think my snowflakes are good. They're small and I did a good layer on there of paint. Turn off my heat press so it doesn't stay on unnecessarily. So tell me about the weather where you guys are. Right now it's probably in the 80s, I think. The last week or so it's been in the 80s here, which has been nice. It's not been terribly hot. It's been raining all day today, though, like torrentially raining. Just downpouring. And we've had like a really bad storm come through. So the dogs have been cooped up inside, and the little one is so terrified of any kind of storms. Every time it rains, she freaks out. My daughter's dog, oh man. Okay, so I'm going to just grab my white paint, and I'm going to try and do a good thick layer to cover this. Okay, now I don't have to be super neat around this scarf, but around his belly I do need to be I need to think it through, okay, and not just go buck wild as I tend to do, you know. Okay, and then I will dry this really well and probably do a second coat. but it's actually covering quite nicely. And what I think I might end up doing, I do have a bow for this project. Tempted to maybe use the bow to help disguise any imperfections. We'll see if there are any. I'm not doing a terrible job of painting this so far, so hopefully I can keep that up. Not the best at hand painting things, but if I just slow down, I can do it most of the time. Now, I don't understand this, why this came this way, and why I didn't look at it and notice it when I cut it out. Usually I try to be better about not leaving pieces like this where there's a potential that you're going to have to hand paint a bunch of stuff where you can't just paint cutouts, because that's so much easier. I do think for this snow down at the bottom, I may add a little bit of that dusky blue in here, and just to kind of help accentuate it from the snowman's body, because I don't want it to be the same color. Hey Laura, how are you? Welcome. And then I'm going to use that same paintbrush, I think, to add some snow on here before we put this thing together. And then we can get to gluing, but this project's pretty much done now. I do want to go over the body one more time, at least this side of it, and make sure that I have a really good coverage on here, okay? Actually pretty happy with how this is looking. And then I want to grab just a little bit of this dusky blue and kind of bring that into the snowdrift at the bottom, just so that it's not quite so noticeable. And then I'm even kind of blending that out above where it's supposed to end. So that it's a little imperfect, okay? So there's my snowman body. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Could be better, but it's not terrible, I guess. Thanks for coming to hang out with me. I appreciate you. Alright, so now I have my paintbrush that I just used for that white. I'm going to grab a little bit of paint onto it, okay? And then I'm spraying just a little bit of water over here on the side. I'm going to just dip that in that water so that it gives me a kind of a better consistency so that I can add some snow. I know we just did this last night, but I love this technique. It's one of my favorites actually to do with any kind of snow scene. So anytime I get an opportunity to do snow, I'm here for it all the time. So sorry if it's overdone, but I can't be helped. Okay, get this whole thing dry and then we'll put it all together. I think we're ready. I do see a little part over here on this, on his side, where it's just not quite meeting my expectation. Okay. Just want to make sure I get as close in there as I can with that blue. All right. Sorry, I saw one little sliver of brown and I can't be having that. All right, and then I think we can, let me see. There. I have a couple little spots that just didn't really, not doing it for me. So let's put it together, see how we like this red. I'm not sold on it, but we'll see how it goes. Okay. So as I do, oh, I think that just did it for me. It definitely, I'm sold. I'm so simple. How on earth could things possibly be that easy? Okay, so I do want to give him a little bit of a cheek. Not too much on both sides, but he needs to be a little rosy. Okay. And then I think I actually might bring a little bit of this blue into his hat too, because I want to differentiate between his face and his hat. So we sometimes just have to make a decision last minute. There, that's a little better. Okay, he's not all washed out, thank goodness. He's got a little wind in his face. And then we have, let me see, I don't know where all these snowflakes go, but we're gonna figure it out together. That one for sure goes there. A couple of them are gonna go on this piece too, so we need to not forget that. Ooh, this is cute. But I want to place all of these first so that I think that one might be here. Maybe not. Yeah, it is. Okay. And then I need to draw his mouth too. So that piece is not a separate one either. So it'll be up to you to add that as well. Okay. I need to bring this down a little bit so I can see better. Bring it closer to my face. Yeah. All right, I think we're good to go. And then I'll do like 3 of them up there. I think that's good, right? Don't cover up the holes up here though, okay? Make sure And then, oh, oh my gosh, you know what I just did, y'all? Y'all saw me do it too. I can't believe I did that. Just crumpled up his eyeballs and his buttons and just threw them away like a crazy pants over here. Okay. I mean, I don't know. All right. Make sure that you get his eyes in the right place, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and glue these snowflakes down up here so that they can sit, and then we'll get the top part glued on. And then we can do him, save him for last. I can't believe I threw away his eyes and his buttons. I don't know, man. I wasn't... My brain, all I'm thinking about right now is I don't have to wake up in the morning early. I have a one-track mind, I tell you what. Okay. I'm going to just drop a glue there and start that process off. I'll go ahead and get his buttons glued on too. Okay, there's no score lines or anything for his buttons. And then I have some material that I want to use to make a little bow with. Okay, I think this is black. Yeah. So as far as a mouth, I don't know which one will be better. Not that one, the brush side. It's cute, right? All right. That'll have to do her. Okay. Now, I'm going to pull all of this stuff down just a little and go one piece at a time. So we'll start with his hat. Get that in place. And let it start setting before we move on. Now, there are score lines so you know where stuff goes, where like your placement should be. So just keep those lines in mind as you put all this together. It should hopefully help you. And then I'll go ahead and get his eyes on here. Now they do have some little squiggly lines. So they need to be turned the right way. Which I almost wish that they were regular circles. And, I mean, you could even just dot them on if you wanted to, but there are scored on there, so we get what we get sometimes. And with different people making different kinds of files, you can't always be a beggar or chooser when you're begging for a file, right? All right. And then let me get his little tie on his scarf, and then we'll add our little bit of glue here. I think this turned out pretty good. I'm not upset by this at all. Oh, well, maybe I will be if I don't glue this on. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, now on this part, it's very important to get those holes lined up, okay? So you want to put that on there, And then what I always do with the piece like this that goes on the edge, I just take my fingers and I line it up to multiple edges, okay? And just hold it in place for a second and let it set up. That glue just takes a second. So like, I don't know, 15-20 seconds, and you've got a completely great hold from Stick Fast, which is why I love it so much. It can be terrible too, so just make sure you have your stuff in the right place before you start gluing. And then before you start flinging stuff around like I like to do, make sure it's solid and secure, okay? So I'm gonna double this up. I already have my hot glue gun ready. Really cute, right? Yeah, I think so too. I'm ready for it to start cooling down around here, that's for sure. The humidity just absolutely tanks this house, y'all. It's terrible. Okay, so I'm gonna just loop through on both sides, and then I'm tempted to do what I did the other night and just tie it together, maybe if I have a long enough piece of jute here, and then glue that knot so that it's real tight. No, I'm not going to do that because it won't be long enough. So I'm going to just tie my knot here, and I'm going to try and keep it, short-ish, okay? And I'm just doing a single knot. I don't like my hangers to be really long. And then the holes on the back are pretty small, but I am going to go ahead and still put a little dot of glue here and just glue those knots down, okay? Just to hold them in place. And you could even do that trick with a piece of ribbon back here to really hold them down. I am going to trim this, and I'll leave that one. I have a piece of ribbon though. That I'll put just like so, and then another one there. Oops. Like that, so that it just holds it down. Okay, it's just ribbon from Dollar Tree, nothing fancy. But what do you think? We did decoupage. I'm loving this little guy so much. I hope you love him too. You can comment the word mitten to grab the cutout for this and get it on sale tonight for my birthday sale. Okay, I love you all. Have a wonderful evening. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Good night.